Hello everyone and welcome to a new Solution 2 video. Today I have a game for you from the FOB HQ Discord in October. So these are two great players and I decided to switch it up a little bit so that we can see some of the top players again that didn't play in the Terrible Division tournament. And also get some different play styles with some, good divisions, and then we mix it up sometimes a little bit more with going back to the Terrible Divisions tournament from September. So the rules for this tournament were that you only had 10 bans in total, so for both players in total, you had 5 bans only. Both players had 5 bans only, giving 10 bans, and then you pick two divisions, and your opponent gets to ban one, so you play the other. And I think this is why we actually see 4 viewers here, because otherwise it's a division that usually gets banned very, very quickly. But yeah, let's dive into the decks and then hop right into the action. So let's start with SteppeKnight's build of 9th Panzer. This is one of the divisions from the latest DLC, and it's a decent one. It has a good mix of stuff. It is a little bit more situational on where it's strong because it lacks 2k. So it's one of those tanks divisions that you don't wanna have in a too heavy map. I think Slutsk is actually okay for it because you have the town where this can actually shred quite a bit with all its light armor. Strength, of course, you have a big recon tab and it has lots of good tools. You have some SPWs which are phenomenal. You do have 2 cards of Panzer II Luxus, which are also very, very strong in the right situation and spot. Into tab, quite nice as well. So it just has a little bit more punch than a regular Panzer Grenadier or Panzer division infantry tab, because you do get the Panzer Grenadier G43. So this is, as the name implies, basically a regular Panzer Grenadier, but you do get G43s, which are semi-automatic rifles, which just gives it a little bit more punch, which can be really, really helpful. And the other nice thing here is the Kosakin Pioneer. It's just a Pioneer for 15 points, so it's so much more cost effective than a regular Pioneer, and it's easy to get good trades with this thing. Tank tab, nothing spectacular there. It's all Panzer Force and then the one card of Tiger that you do get, but this is it for 2k. Support-wise, nothing bad there as well, but it is rather small, so you don't actually get to take that many good tools there. Just see flamethrowers, relay, and then commander supports. That's it. Supplies. AT tab, you have a nice mix of stuff here. He doesn't bring more than one AT gun, but he does bring a lot of tank killers. So we do see the Marder, 2 variants of them, and then the Panzerjäger 35R. This is a really nice little unit. It has a low penetration, or not that low, but it's 90 max and the range is also short, but it kind of makes up for that with it very high fire rate and 25 points only. So this can be very, very dangerous to light armor. It's very spammable too. AA, nice tools. You get mobile wagons and 88s that he brings here. I think there's some other tools in there as well, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I mean, what more would you want other than these two? And then artillery, SDK said, mortar, and then Hummel, and that's it. Airwise, yeah, Division is not really strong in the Air Force, and we see that here he only brings Recon, Rocket Focke-Wulf, and the JD7 cluster plane, which I think is a reasonable choice against 4th US. And then we have 4th US Armored, the big brother of 3rd US, and not less scary than 3rd US. In my opinion, even a bit more scary. Yes, you don't have the jumbo that is really such a pain to deal with, but you have so much more good tools, a little bit more flexibility in how you can play it and on what maps you can play it. So this is such a great division, and rightfully seen as one of the best in general. So, what do we get? Recon tab, we have lots of M8s, but he only brings one card. We get some Stewards, and then, of course, 2 units with some bazookas. Infantry, this is what makes this, in my opinion, much more flexible than 3rd US. You not only get more infantry, but you also have better options, right? You do have your rifles, which means that you have a decent line infantry unit that can fight on its own. And in addition to that, you still have I never know if it's armed or armored rifles, I assume armored rifles, but you also get 2 of the BAR variants, so automatic rifle there, which helps, and you do get so many bazookas still with these, and the hard tracks too, so this is just absolutely fantastic and really, really scary. Tank-wise, yeah, as I said, you don't get the jumbo, but you get some great tools still. You get 1 card of M8s. You get the Rhino, which, yeah, it's not a jumbo, but it's still good to have that Sherman with more armor. You also get the 75 with 110 millimeters of armor. He brings the W here with only 100. I'm not really sure why, because both cost the same. But anyway, and then of course you get the Sherman 76 in leader and non-leader variant. And this is one of the best, if not the best, medium tanks overall, in my opinion. simply because you get all the nice perks that a Sherman gets, and then you slap a gun onto it that has the same range and penetration power as those of German tanks. There's not really much more you could ask for. If this thing had 100 millimeters of armor, that is really like the perfect medium tank. There's nothing else that you could add on this that could make it any better if we're going to stay in the range of medium tanks. So this thing is absolutely fantastic. If I have to choose one medium tank to play all day, then it's going to be this one. Support-wise, we do have some good options. We see flamethrowers here, Browning, some supplies, and a Sherman 105. I think there's some other options in there as well, as including M8 Scots, but in this matchup, I guess it doesn't make sense for Jaapaasa to bring them because there's lots of light armor that can counter that very, very effectively, of course. At T-Tab, this is one of the gimmicks of this division. You only get M1 guns and then you only get Hellcats, like tons of them. So Hellcats are really scary, but they're very much a double-edged sword because they die very easily. They really cannot take much. But they are just so fast. They have the 2k range with the American APCR, which is really powerful. So I absolutely see why this is so scary, and I'm also a little bit terrified of this AT tab. But you have to keep track of your M8s, M18 Hellcats and micro them well for them not to die, because they are still not cheap. But for what they can do, they are definitely quite cheap. A-wise, M15s, not great, but does the job well enough. Artillery, you get some big guns there as well, nothing to complain there. And then the air type, of course, P47s, these are always fantastic. They have medium resilience, good loadout, good bomb loadouts, so definitely a small but fine air type there. And we're back. So, as always, let's quickly look at the deployment and then let's see how this whole thing unfolds. So, down south, SteppeKnight deploys very, very conservatively in the town. Or at least in the lower part of the town, and then on the hill he invests quite a bit. You can of course exert some pressure from here down towards this part of the town, and then what you also have is you can easily push Red side off this hill, and then it's really hard for Red to get back. So once you got this, it's pretty much secured, easy flag to grab that for you. However, Jaapaasa does not really want this to happen, so it looks like he's contesting this flag heavily. With the size of the force, he might even try to actually push forward later on. And the town is also very conservative with just some support weapons, recon, and an AT gun, and this is about it. Up north, we see another massive deployment there from Jaapaasa. He goes for this central area here on the hill, which is a very, very classical push. You can, if you manage to get into it, you can overlook all of the open here. You can kind of overlook this access reinforcement road here, and you can easily pressure these two flags. So that's definitely a nice play there. He goes very, very lightly here and only puts a spotter in the open field to see what's going on there. On SteppeKnight's side, he tries to contest this, but not too heavily, and he mainly goes defensive on these two flags. So yeah, let's start. More defensive deployments on both sides. Generally, no, not really. I mean, this is an aggressive one, but SteppeKnight is not too aggressive. He has lots of units there, so like he's probably building up for a push and will follow through. But the initial move orders are not that aggressive by themselves. Fuckerwolf recon coming in, giving him some valuable information. Definitely going to be really, really useful. I actually haven't noticed. We see 3 snipers, one here, and one here. So he really wants to make sure that he has lots of recon there. Recon plane gets stopped by the M15 that we see early on, so it looks like Jaapaasa wants to cover off this push right away with AA, just to make sure that SteppeKnight cannot get in with his limited air force to bully that one. Hellcat overlooking the open here, not in a good position though. Although, I mean, it's at a range where he can act with its 2k and 750 meter range tools, so actually kind of makes sense to put it there. So far 12-12, but yeah, we see a clash of a decent amount of forces right here down south. Panzergrenadier have to be careful, but if they can get in, that's going to be an annoying spot. Although they do not have. Oh no, this one has a Panzer. This one has a Panzerfaust. It's a regular one, so it should do okay. MOM Pioneer, nice little unit. TNT thrower with a bazooka. Problem is it's 30 points, so you don't really want this to throw a TNT, unless of course you go against Panzergrenadier. Then it's absolutely fine. Panzerschreck moving in. This is very, very dangerous for Jaapaasa. He has to be careful. Looks like Jaapaasa just grabbed this flag right here. The 2 flamers who here got in will Oh no, it's a Pioneer and a Flamethrower. It should definitely win against a single Flamethrower. This one's gonna get in, but Jaapaasa is kind of lacking the tools to really follow this up. The MA can bullet infantry if it shows up, but other than that, it can't really do much. And the Marder will, of course, not be an easy target for the MA. I mean, it's very killable. It's very killable, especially at close range. But if the Marder is going to be able to fire first, the mate will probably go down if it hits. So it's okay. I correct myself. It's a bit of a coin flip. If he continues to just go in closer, then the MH should definitely win. At range, wouldn't be so sure about that. Looks down south here. Jaapaasa, yeah, managed to fend off SteppeKnight's initial push, but he's not in a position to push back right away himself at the moment. We do see a Rhino coming. Oh, there's a sneaky M1 gun here to cover off the open. Definitely smart thing there. Rhino coming in and some rifles late for reinforcements. We do see a mobile one coming in for the town here, so it looks like SteppeKnight has realized that this might be asking for some planes to help here. So having the AA ready there to go is probably a good choice. We do see a guerrilla coming in. Not sure. To deal with the M1 gun, most likely. Although, at the right range, even the Panzer IV can do that. Recon coming in down south, there's no AA here. There's lots of 50 cals though, and 50 cals are actually okay at AA now, but they're not going to stop two planes. Yeah, this is just really annoying in my opinion. I really do hate the fact that 50 cals are so effective at doing AA duty. Like, they're already so strong on the ground, and then you get AA on top of it as well out of them. I think it's just too much value on it. Because if he had, but yeah, Fakulf gets in, kills the M1 gun, so this open ground now opened up for SteppeKnight to go in, but he has nothing to go there right now. So I'm not sure if, this investment is really going to pay off unless he actually plans to go there, because otherwise, you can just kind of ignore this. I guess with the Marder 2 going there, it makes a lot of sense. Never mind, don't listen to me. Sharpshooter is in here, providing some recon. Flamethrower is still grabbing this flag though, and it looks like the Marder did go down. Oh no, it's moving down south, so it didn't try to face check the M8, which is definitely the smart choice here. Panzerjäger, yeah, these are going to be a really annoying tool here because they can deal very, very easily with the M8. They have a faster fire rate if I'm not mistaken, so they should be able to beat that, and the pen is definitely sufficient. And in addition to that, they're actually cheaper than the M8, so it's only 25 points, and this one should be 35 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, look at that. So it's even cheaper. It doesn't have 50 cal to suppress the infantry, but it has a fast firing, it has some HE shells, and it fires really fast. Though the ammo count is low, so it's not the best tool for infantry support unless you want to constantly resupply to it, which, I don't know, it's not really that feasible in my opinion. Another one coming in, trying to fight the M8. Half-track coming in with an engineer card. If he does the ground attack thing, he will win. Otherwise, he might lose because the flamethrower will force the grenadier to move, and in that time the pioneer is going to throw the ammo, his TNT. And yeah, engineer engages the flamethrower first. Pioneer is not following up though. SteppeKnight hasn't noticed. Up north, not much going on. Down south, engineers versus pioneers, and some assistance from the rifles late. Looks like the Rhino probably killed off the Marder. Another M1 gun in, but the Panzer Grenadier is moving in there as well, and that can deal very easily with that. It doesn't have it doesn't have HE. So there's that. Another Marder 3 in. SteppeKnight on the run, 13-11 for Jaapaasa. And of course, if you play, balanced versus Maverick, this is what you want. You want an early advantage, not a big one, but you want, that this extra little bit of tickets that you can tick down can really make the difference in the end. And if you are in a good position by the end of A phase, it makes it a little bit more harder for the Maverick player to actually really, run you over in B phase, because you are in a good spot currently, and then you can make him invest a little bit more into getting you out of there, and that can really make the difference for him not to have the tools to then completely overrun you. So definitely nice to see that. Panzerschreck did go down, so But yeah, there's so much light armor here, and I can very, very effectively deal with all the light armor here. So it's rather balanced, I would say, when I look at the tools that are available here. Rhino, of course, is gonna be pretty much unkillable for most of this light armor. Yes, the Panzerjäger can overpenetrate, but it's not gonna be that much of a high of a chance. That being said, there's 3 of them and 1 Rhino, so if this Warmid, they might get a chance. They can also sideshot it, like, very, very realistic. Mortar goes after the church tower, so Jaapaasa assumes that there's recon there, and this is really, I mean, that's an easy guess. There's almost always recon there. Looks like SteppeKnight has managed to get back in here with his Stone Pioneer, forced off the Flamethrower, and the M1 has now to retreat. Panzerjäger 35R is coming in, and yeah, Jaapaasa didn't really follow this up. Now he is with an Engineer and Hellcat, but that might not be enough, actually. Down south, we do see a leader, Luke's coming in, as well as 2 Panzer IV. Church Tower being missed so far. We do see another mortar in from, or a mortar in as well from SteppeKnight. He's in radio range, so it's going to hurt a lot. He's going to take care of this infantry blob here. Rifle Slate here saved the M1 gun though, but now we do have Armada 3 in a cheeky little spot there to take care of the M8s. Takes one down one. Second shot goes after the Rhino. Bounces. Let's see what the Rhino does. Gets the pen. Shouldn't be too hard. Another bounce. This has, yeah, it's 145. The range is, at this range I would say that the chance to pen is probably reasonable. But I mean, yeah, look at this. Like it's 25 millimeters below the pen of the Armada 3, so the chance should be, with the penetration drop-off, should be decently low, which is why we see the bouncing. So yeah, actually already did a good job there. Damn it. Oh, half track versus half track now. Does this one return a favor? No, it does not. It goes after the infantry here. Might be a little bit too late because that engineer is probably going to throw the grenade. There we go. Both grenades go off, so they're going to trade. Leader might go down as well. No, it doesn't, but it might die to the mortar. No, mortar stopped and is moving. Up north, engineer got into here, but the Panzerjäger killed off the M8, so that's the end of that. Hellcat has to be careful. If it's in range of the Panzerjäger, it will easily be killed by the Panzerjäger. And that would be not a good trade. P-47 in now, but the mobile wagon is there. It can stop it. I mean, yeah, if you fly directly into the AA, then probably not going to get through. And I mean, the nice thing about this is actually, if you can see, a Flak 43. So it's the better one of the 2 German 37 mils. We see another M8 in up north, but this is not really the right tool here against the Panzerjäger, I guess. Was he? Yeah, we're shooting at some infantry, and already it's down to two shells. They have, yeah, they only have 10 rounds, so it's not a lot. Armored rifles getting in. We see some half tracks here, but they're of course not the right response against this blob of armor here. And while it's also not going to be very, very easy, the Panzer IV can kill the Rhino. Not so sure about the Panzerjäger 35R. I still think that the Rhino can probably beat even 3 of them. But they might overpenetrate, so I'm not so sure on that one. But the Panzer IV at this range will definitely kill that. Especially if you have 2 of them. Church Tower still standing, Beobachter still there. Giving some radio, although it's not really needed because we have the Panzerlux here, we have a leader here, and you know, the mortar half track is actually so close that it can provide radio itself. P-47 back in again, going for the Panzerjäger here. Gets the kill, has a Focke-Wulf on its back, but it should be fast, especially since it got rid of its bone loadout. So should be able to get away, I would think. Hummel in. We have reached B phase. So we're 1 minute into B phase, so SteppeKnight's good income started to kick in. And Jaapaasa is not in that great of a spot. I think his, yeah, the trades in the southern front were rather bad. Rhino gets a pen on the Panzer IV, but Panzer IV gets a pen on the Rhino in return, and there we go. They trade. And this is a very bad trade for Jaapaasa, because of course his tank is not only more expensive, but it's the only tank here. Oh no, never mind, there's another one here. So he still has one, but this one really needs to kill that Panzer IV now, because otherwise there's not much here that can do that. The rifles might if SteppeKnight moves in, but I think he's too careful for that. He knows that there's plenty of bazookas here, so I think he is careful enough. And yeah, look at that. Now calls in Kosakan Pioneer, then he can clear out this forest party, and then he can start pushing with his armor. It was quickly 13-11 for SteppeKnight, but that has gone again. He has grabbed. What has he grabbed? Don't know what. It's currently 13-11 now for Jaapaasa with him grabbing this flag, so he managed to get back into here with we probably spotted out the Pioneer that was here, and then got in with his units again. But it's probably not going to last for long. Down south, mortar did go after, I think, the Martyr. This mortar is no... Oh no! The Hummel is going after the half-track from Jaapaasa. Units here suppressed, have to fall back. There's pretty much only half-tracks here, and it's not the good ones. And one gun actually gets the shot off. Pens 35 misses. Second one hits though, down he goes. Lux versus Rhino gets a transmission damaged. Did it take damage? I mean, it has to have taken damage. Not too bad though. Did you get a side shot off for this to happen? Oh, but that's massive. Panzer IV gets the kill on the Rhino. So yeah, that's it for this flag. We do see another Rhino coming in, but I think it's very much too late. At this point, you can have to give up on this flag, retreat the Rhino, retreat the mortar half-track, and just accept that this flag's gonna belong to SteppeKnight for the time being. And this is it. We see an M30 cargo here. It's probably there to resupply the Hellcat, because the Hellcat, if you want it to keep using its APCR, needs constant resupplies. It's in a cheeky little spot here, not a place where I personally would put a Hellcat, but it seems to be working, although not sure that it's gonna do well against the Luxus. Don't think so. Mortar half-track still here. This is dangerous. Not a Sherman coming in, but yeah, I just don't think this is the right response here. I think you have to accept that this is gone and try to go somewhere else. Kind of build up this push here, maybe put some Hellcats here to pressure the hill together with one of your Sherman 105. Hellcat killed one of the Luxus. The other one is getting in. It's shooting at the grenade. Does it have a 50 cal? It has a 50 cal, so yeah. Pretty nice there. Up north, half-track did go down to a Lux. Lux is about to kill another one. No, it's shooting at the armed rifles. But Sherman Pioneer and Panzer Grenadier did get in, so this flag currently belongs to SteppeKnight, and with SteppeKnight picking up this flag finally, so he brings it to a 13-11 for him. Rhino doing a good job at keeping these Panzerjäger at bay, but he has to be careful because the Panzer IV is moving in. You have a Panzerschreck coming there as well. Now we see reinforcements coming in. So yeah, it looks like Jaapaasa is very much determined to keep fighting for this hill. And I mean, it's not. It looks like he's actually standing a chance there. So I was a little bit wrong in my assessment of that situation. That being said, I think SteppeKnight is still very much in the advantage here, and considering that, you know, SteppeKnight is also starting to pressure Jaapaasa here, and this will flip really soon. I'm not sure if you really want to invest this heavily into that one flag right here. And the town, you know, is being pressured as well. Hellcat did go down. I don't know if to the Lux or the Marder here, or to the Panzerschreck. One of these. Lux now will pick apart the 50 cal here, and then it's really only the ammo pioneers and the armed rifles. Now, if SteppeKnight is moving forward carefully with something like the flamethrower, or just his infantry in general, he will be able to clear this out eventually. Oh, big bombing strikes with the P-47, kills off the Martyr and some infantry. So SteppeKnight gets to keep this flag for now. For now he has a Lux running around in his backlines. And one gun not in position yet. Okay, yeah, but the Sherman will take care of that. It's not going to stand a chance against that. Down it goes, 12-12 for Jaapaasa once again. The Jaapaasa is holding on for now, but the issue is, of course, that the strongest point of Maverick is going to be at the end of B phase or at the start of C phase, because remember, it takes some time for the units to actually, you know, get in. You need some time for them to actually get an effect on the front line. And so often enough, you will see the balance player collapse by the start of C phase and not by the start or middle of B phase. Because currently the advantage is still adding up, right? It's not at its peak yet. In the town, Panzer IV and Pak 40 are relentlessly pushing forward. They will eventually kill this thing off there. I have no doubt there. But yeah, some cleaning up here was done, but it looks like the Panzer IV that was here died, but took either that or the Panzerschreck took the Rhino with it. So we're back to having no Rhinos on this hill. Now the Panzer IV coming in should be able to deal easily with the Sherman 75W here. M8 can take out the Panzerjäger, but the Panzerjäger can also take out the M8. So it can really go both ways here. And the M8 can of course kill the guerrilla, which is probably going to be its prime target. Oh, but the Panzer IV finds a shot on the M8 first. M8 gets a pen on the guerrilla, but goes down before he can kill it. Armored rifles kill the Panzerjäger with its bazooka. Further up north, half-tracks are holding off some Kosakin pioneers, but it's not going to last for long. And an SPW-234 is already in. That will definitely kill the half-track. Not so sure about the M8. Actually, with turret stack, it's going to be rather useless. Focke-Wulf gets a rocket off just barely. It's not enough to kill the M8, though. I think the spread was probably too big with the suppression from the M15. Panzerschreck, I think I just heard a Panzerschreck sound here. Killed something, probably just a half-track. Sherman is still alive. M8 falling back as the Panzer IV is moving in. The second M1 gun here died as well, so this open is now very much for SteppeKnight to be dominated, and we see some more Panzer IVs coming in as well as some Luces. Hummel resupplied. Yeah, I mean, having mobile artillery is always great, but the problem with the Hummel is it only comes in with 18 shells, so you have to really manage who supplies there. Panzer IV here cleaning house. M8 did go down, now the Hellcat, and this area here very much undefended. At the meantime, SteppeKnight is holding the town now. We are nearing the end of B phase though, and SteppeKnight is currently on a 13-11, but Jaapaasa still has more tickets than him, so he has to continue on with that, and he has to bring that to a 15-9 eventually. I would assume, if he really wants to win, because I do think that, you know, with how it's going, unless he can really dig in here and deny Jaapaasa from ever getting one of these flags back, it's not gonna last long, right? Jaapaasa will probably eventually stabilize and then pick up the 13-11 himself. So I think with Maverick, you kind of need the 15-9, but we're gonna have to wait and see. Blob of armor moving in down south, and the mortar is trying to kill off this armed rifles there. And if once that goes down, there is still bazookas here, so that's very unlucky. Although if this one gets suppressed, there's only one left, and if this unit dies, I think all of this is very killable for the Panzer IVs and the Panzer II Luxes. Not a Hellcat in down south here. I think it's just here to stabilize the situation. Managed to kill off that Panzer IV, is being resupplied already, because yeah, it just has 2 APCR rounds. Artillery now going after this blob here. Something did just go down. Managed to see what didn't manage to see what it was. But yeah, this blob here is still there, but it's getting loosened up, and there's nothing here to follow up. There's also nothing here to hold the ground, really. Like, once this front line here breaks, there's the 50 cal, but with some armor that's not really an issue, and then SteppeKnight can just walk through here, and this whole part of the map up north can be easily controlled by him. He has to be careful though because of the Hellcats, of course. These can very easily outrange his Panzer IV, but I do think, you know, it would be worth at least. I mean, he has some recon. He has to know there's not much here, so I think it would be worth trying to go for these 2 flags, like just, you know, build up a push here. But of course, he cannot really ignore Jaapaasa's counter push here either, and he has grabbed the town now, which is definitely going to help him. 105 fighting against, 105 fighting against the Pak 40 here, I think. Took a pen, forced the Pak 40 to move. Now we see tank blob moving in down south, and this will pretty much destroy everything here. And I mean, this is the issue with... It's nice if you can defend here with your infantry with bazookas, but the problem is you can just move around and then kind of pressure all of this. We have reached C phase though, so Jaapaasa now gets his M4 Sherman's 76s. He had the leaders before that, but we didn't see them, unfortunately, but now he gets plenty of them. Mortar still going after this area here where the M1 used to be, but it's not there anymore. He, of course, doesn't know that. Hummel still going after this forest part here, slowly softening it up. We do see a 155 in now to counter the Hummel. I'm not sure if Jaapaasa knows that it's a Hummel. I think 9th Armor has, 9th Panzer has regular tube artillery, like not mobile one, if I'm not mistaken. So it's regular 150 and the SK-18. So I have to assume that he assumes that it is one of those, because otherwise you would not counter battery that. Then again, you know, SteppeKnight hasn't actually moved it, so even I get why you get to this conclusion. P-47 was called in, but must have lost line of sight, I have to assume. Because it was called back, it wasn't forced off. Mobile wagon will of course do some protection there, but I'm not sure if it would have fought it off really. Panzer Force kill a Sherman that was here. Looks like Jaapaasa is now on the move, trying to fall back. Hellcat as gain line of sight, starts to open up, but will get shot at by all these tanks right away. Recon tank goes down though, that's a good target. Problem is Panzer Luxes are still going to get recon, and there we go, Hellcat goes down. Yeah, this thing is just made out of paper. It's going to die very, very easily. Another Sherman dying in the town as well as a half-track, so things not looking good. Up north, still nothing happening. SteppeKnight is happy to just keep pounding this, and then when it softens up, he might be able to push down if he plans on this, because he doesn't really have anything there to do that yet, except for that one Panzer IV, really. Hummel has still not been moved. It's getting shot at by the 155, so not sure where this goes. Might die if he doesn't move it. But yeah, look at that. Now we can see. Yeah, this is what I was talking about, right? Units have to arrive, you have to build up your force, you have to start pushing it, then you can really feel the might of the Maverick income when you are in C phase already. This flag's gonna fall. The two Hellcats here are not gonna stop this. Two more might, especially if you can keep outranging it, but the problem is you need to resupply it. If the APSR misses, that's it for the Hellcats. Much. So the 76 did also go down, the 75W still alive here. Very, very sneaky spot. Now the Hummel is moving anti-MO as well. Focke-Wulf did go in. I don't know what it went after, but this blob here is still alive. Continuing to be an annoyance for SteppeKnight, but he's slowly taking Jaapaasa down. So far things are still working out for him. And if you look at the map, there's not a lot of threat. Now this is partially, of course, because of the income difference, but it's also because SteppeKnight did outtrade Jaapaasa really, really heavily, I think. And this is, of course, much, much easier if you're on the Maverick income, right? It's just much easier to get good trades if you have more units that you can use simultaneously. But with this flag now captured as well, we are looking at a 1410 for SteppeKnight, and looks like he's looking for that, and he's probably looking for the final flag right now that brings him to 15-9. You could easily try to grab this one, really. Reinforcements are coming in, so yeah, it looks like Jaapaasa is already blocking off this to make sure that he doesn't get pushed here, and for him to potentially enable a counter push up north. This blob here is remaining out of line of sight for the Hellcats, although this one might be able to get spotted, but they are out of ABCR. Yeah, so that's the issue. They are just waiting there now for the ammo to arrive, and it looks like, you know, SteppeKnight doesn't really want to move in just yet, because he knows that these can still do a lot of damage if he moves forward, and probably knows about the Sherman as well. I have to imagine he sees it. We can actually check real quick. No, he doesn't, but I mean, he can kind of guess probably. Leader coming in, so we have another Panzer IV here, Guerrilla in as well on the hill. This is really a really nice position because it really prevent, you know, red side from pushing back into the town and the hill, because it can cover off this part of the hill, all of this here really, and these are of course essential positions to re-grab this town. Mortar going after the mobile wagon. Hasn't been moved, but hasn't really taken damage yet. Hellcat goes down to the pack 40 here. Another one will be claimed a victim. The last two Hellcats are on the run, and it looks like SteppeKnight can now start pushing again. Supplies are here, but they have to be careful because they are very killable as well. And of course, there's not that many Hellcats here left to resupply. Pack 40 spotted what? Oh, the Sherman. That's gonna, yeah, that's a whole load of wounded. That's rough. That's goodbye for the Sherman. Down it goes, and this flag will probably not yet flip, but I think SteppeKnight can now just move to the edge here and start pressuring Jaapaasa there. Although there's still one Hellcat left with 2 APCR rounds, so he has to be careful. Hummel is already taking on the fire again. Yeah, he wasn't moved once again after shooting, so Jaapaasa decided to go after it once again. I think there's better targets. Like this, all of this here is such a target-rich environment. I would probably go after that because the chance of you actually killing this is not that big, unless of course SteppeKnight fails to move it once again. Yeah, now the push here is happening, and as we said, there's not really much here, although Jaapaasa is reacting. We do see 2 Sherman 76s in here, and of course the Luke's not really gonna stand a chance against those. Pack 40 is slowly moving forward though. Panzer 4 here would be ready as well, just needs to get in here. 50 cal goes down. Amoki did get killed off, and this is of course huge because, I mean, killing the Hummel will probably be better because it's more expensive, and there's not really much else here, but you know, you have limited ammo as well, and doesn't really carry that much ammo, so it will force SteppeKnight to call in another supply truck to deal with that. He still has to move the Hummel, and is now targeting the M15. Yeah, once again, a moving target, a target that is able to move. I'm not sure if this is the right thing to target, but of course it prevents his small air force to actually do some damage. And who knows, maybe he gets the kill. It's just barely out of radio range. I think if he was able to move that Luke's a little bit further over here, it would be in radio range. Oh wow, that was a very close hit, so it might actually go down. P-47 still doesn't get in, mobile wagon. 2 of them will absolutely block this off completely. And now we see the 15-9 for Jaapaasa. For SteppeKnight. He did grab this frag. He just pushed on with his infantry here because, yeah, there was nothing here to protect that, right? He can overlook that with his Panzer Grenadier. He has the Panzer Force up here to apply some pressure as well, and the Kriller here too, so he can just start moving forward now. SPW in. This will kill off the mortar. This can kill off the rifle slate because they don't have any bazookas. Pack 40 here, spawning the reinforcements. Can he kill him? Gets one. Only one rifle slate left. It's been called in here to help keeping this flag, but has to be unloaded early because, of course, Jaapaasa doesn't want to risk it dying as well. Hellcat spots the tanks. No, spots the SPW. Had APCR still on, so it wasted its 2 APCRs, and that has to be resupplied now. Not a Hellcat being called in. Still one left here with APCR on, and it looks like Jaapaasa is doing a good job at smoking off this Pack 40. Because he has either spotted it or assumed that it might be there. Because it's a very classical, spot to put your AT gun if you've captured this hill. This flag now falling as well, though, with the Panzer Grenadier pushing in. This rifle slate is suppressed. This one will probably lose against the Panzer Grenadier. This has 2 MG34s and it has the G43s, which makes it a lot better. And yeah, if a Panzer Force get involved as well, this will definitely die. So yeah, Hellcat's coming in, but it's focusing on the G43 instead of the tanks up north. Up on the hill. Artillery-wise, the M15 did go down. Hummel still hasn't been moved, but it looks like Jaapaasa just doesn't get lucky with a kill. This is rather unfortunate. Like, if you don't move your artillery, you deserve to be punished. Oh, there we go. There we go. Down it goes. As I was about to say, if you just keep forgetting to move it, you kind of should get punished for that, really. But the damage is down. The 50. Oh no, no, that's a new one. I think yeah, it did go down. But the A is back in here, so it doesn't look like SteppeKnight's actually gonna get to make use of the kill that he got there. This one, I think we probably still will win against the rifle slate. I have to imagine. Yeah, look at that. It's going to shred that. Pack 40 here has a nice little angle. Hellcat being shot at. Goes down. Yeah, Jaapaasa's just losing a lot of Hellcats here. And that's the issue, though, right? If you can keep them at 2k range, they're absolutely fantastic and they're great for their mobility. But other than that, they aren't great. Like, that is such an easy kill. Guerrilla poking on some infantry. Yeah, that's not going to get further than that. And yeah, looks like SteppeKnight has his hill very much secured now. Pack 40 is in now, gets a kill on a hit on the 76. It's gonna get another pen and down it will go. Nope, misses. Panzer IV can start doing that as well though. No, what does it see? It sees something. It has, no, I thought it had hill pressure, but it looks like it didn't. It did go after the 76, but yeah, the line of sight tools can be really weird because for us it looks like it doesn't have line of sight, but apparently it had. It was right at the edge though, so maybe it just doesn't look like it had line of sight to us, but if we actually look very, very closely, it just had like millimeter, something like that. Panzer IV getting hit by the APCR, but no, still not in range. And this one is now constantly resupplied with the M30. So this is kind of how you can use your Hellcats at range. This is a very effective use. So this tank blob is being broken down slowly. Mortar is definitely helping, but the problem is SteppeKnight is still on a 15-9, and Jaapaasa has to start doing something about it, but it doesn't look that strong on the map. Like, it's a lot of blue and not that much red. And the other thing is, of course, SteppeKnight has done a good job at turtling down, right? This hill is nicely defended now. This part here, not great, but the defenses are strong enough. And down south, like, even if these die, there is some tools here that can prevent Jaapaasa from really being able to push back in. I'm also not sure how many Hellcats he still has. He has called them in like he had like hundreds of them. And they kept dying and dying and dying. 51 mortar doing a lot of work though. I mean, it will eventually kill this off if it hits. But I think the Panzer IV has been moved back a little bit. But you know, Jaapaasa at least managed to regrab this flag with his rifle slate. Problem is, these Panzer are still alive. Not a Hellcat goes down to what? Probably the Pack 40, I have to imagine. And that one could follow very, very soon. So Jaapaasa just not getting good trades there. That's what I was saying too, right? If Hellcats can be really fantastic, but you have to kind of put them in the right spots. You have to constantly micromanage them, otherwise they will not perform in the way you need it to, and then it can just be a very, very expensive unit dying. 155 now going after. Yeah, it's target rich, but this is mobile. He really wants to use his planes again, I assume, but I think, I know, probably would be a better idea to just focus on spots where you know that there's AT guns, then try to get back in with your Sherman 76. Another Hellcat died here. One's still alive. Fight against the Pack 40, not great. Did just go down to the Pack 40. Now we see the Tiger in. And now that most of the Hellcats here, or all the Hellcats up here, have died, the Tiger can dominate this. Now, the Sherman 76 can kill the Tiger. It is possible. Problem is, of course, at max range, the penetration is much lower and it should usually lose. Pack 40, no, Panzer IV here killed off another 76. 105 still alive, but now getting pressured as well from the Panzer IV. Gets a pen. Will it get the kill? No, loses line of sight. Moves forward, gets line of sight again, but yeah, SteppeKnight running and gets out of line of sight once again. I don't know what we're shooting at now. It can definitely fight the 76, and with triple that, it should not be. It should be definitely be a win for the Panzer IV. Spotters get hit now. Jaapaasa is managing to stabilize things though. 14-10 currently. With him grabbing, oh, he grabbed this one back with his rifle slate. So yeah, I mean, there's not enough HE here. The guerrilla has been moved, so he's managed to sneak back in. Problem is, SteppeKnight is already pressuring him back here, and there's nothing really that can actually stop this right now. The rifle slate are not going to do well against these. The Panzer just need to make sure that they don't get spotted, and he can just hold it. Now, these Shermans will be able to kill that, but they have to arrive there rather soon. Looks like Jaapaasa's making his way back in here with SteppeKnight losing some key units here. The artillery has killed off this pack, and this now opens this whole field up again. Infantry can just move in now because there's nothing else here. But SteppeKnight gets all the vision that he wants with his Focke-Wulf recon, so he can now see what's happening and react accordingly. P47 in, yeah, this Möbelwagen has been moving forward. Not should still get off the rockets. I would hope so. Yeah, it does. Kills the SPW. Luke Stowe still alive. That's going to be a little bit of an issue. Grenadier's going to get suppressed though, and if that's going to happen, this flag will flip back. Hellcat moving in now. Yeah, they can definitely take care of the Panzer. 2 Lukes. 4 minutes left though for Jaapaasa. He has to find 2 flags very, very quickly. Otherwise, this will not go well for him. And the other thing is, of course, we are, 37 minutes in. So we're 17 minutes into C phase, and Jaapaasa has not yet managed to stabilize. So this is going to be really punching. There we go. Grenadier can just move in, regrabs this flag, and we are back to 59 for SteppeKnight, leaving 2 minutes for Jaapaasa to now find 3 flags. And SteppeKnight is already poking at the next one, and there's nothing really here that can stop that. 76s are in. We do see some smoke on at the Park 40. Definitely nice to see that. But yeah, he can just, he has the 155s. I think he could just go after that one. By the way, Panzer IV here did kill off the 76. Got killed off in return by, I don't know what, the artillery maybe, because it's going after that spot. 18-6 now as SteppeKnight is regrabbing these flags. Rifle Blades are coming in, but it's probably too late. He's not going to be able to find the flags that he needs to equal out, and then he would only have 10 minutes left to equal out the tickets, and that's like just not gonna happen, especially if you look at the map. Like, there's still maybe equal amounts of blue and red, and this is almost 19 minutes into C phase. That's not a good sign. Like, that means that SteppeKnight has really heavily outtraded Jaapaasa, and we have seen that as well. Like, Jaapaasa is still looking very, very thin. SteppeKnight is not looking as strong as he used to as well, but this is just the natural way that it works with Maverick. Problem is, he still is strong enough to hold off some pushes from Jaapaasa, and he, has enough units there to react, and with the limited income that he has, to re-grab flags that he's lost. This flag will flip, but the problem is, the Panzer II Lux is still there. Hellcat has not been able to take care of that. It's now moving in, but it's far too late. 30 seconds remaining for Jaapaasa. Smoke going down again on the... Yeah, this one has not been moved, I guess, because it wasn't safe to move. I think he could have tried to move now that it, most of the units have been killed off. He could have tried to move out to the back to actually get it resupplied. Because other than smoke, this thing has nothing left. Still 6-8 though, and Jaapaasa will lose this one. SteppeKnight will take the win of game 1 between these 2 players. So congratulations to SteppeKnight. Nice game, very well played, very clean. Good execution there of his game plan. Yeah, look at that. Jaapaasa 3,385, SteppeKnight 4,235, and this after 40 minutes, so 20 minutes of C phase. That's definitely not good. Kills, let's quickly see. So yeah, we see some rifles late doing some work. I mean, it's definitely a decent unit, especially supported by some tanks. The Rhino did a lot of work as well initially. The motor half-track actually did get some kills as well. P47, of course, absolutely disgusting with its big bomb loadout. We see some good traits there. The Hellcats did some work as well, not a Rhino, but then it tones down quite a bit. And the first thing that actually gets a few more kills again is a 155. And then, yeah, this is pretty much all C phase, and it doesn't look that overwhelming. Some good traits, but not crazy. Although this Hellcat, that one did work. I think that was the one that was constantly resupplied with APCR and just took apart all of the Panzer IVs that we saw on that hill there. So definitely nice to see that. But yeah, it just some good traits, but it just didn't add up enough. And if you look at SteppeKnight, we can see that one, that Marder got so much value. The Panzerjäger did so well. The SPW, all this light armor, and tank hunters did so well. The Mortar did good as well, not a Martyr. Look at the Hellcats here. 1, 2, 3. We saw some more earlier. 5. Yeah, 5 already. That's 300 points. Jaapaasa just keep spamming these around and they kept dying, and that was really, really punishing. Hummel did, did okay with the AA, I guess, and the M1 gun, so that's fine. Not a Panzer IV that just killed awful lot armor and Hellcats there. So yeah, that's kind of the issue. If you have to use the Hellcats in this situation, it's not that great of a tool really. It can be really, really strong and really scary, but in this case, look at that pack 40 just cleaned house there. So many Hellcats there. Yeah, it's just yeah, it's definitely rough to see, but yeah, we see how much more value SteppeKnight got out of it, and this is what ultimately gave him the win. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Have a nice day, and see you in the next one.